Jim, thanks very much for joining us on Morecambe Player. Really exciting week ahead, so we thought we'd grab you early. You can feel in the town, you can feel that the excitement's building for Sunday, and we'll talk about Sunday very, very shortly. But I just want to talk a little bit about what's happened in the last few weeks since we've spoken, and touch on Saturday a little bit more as well. Clearly there were mixed emotions after the match down at Plymouth on Saturday. Mixed performance from the team's own high standard, tempered with the sweet feeling of a 94th minute goal that epitomises the never say die spirit in this team, I think. So you've had a couple of days to mull it over. What are your feelings now on Saturday?
You speak more than freeze, you. Saturday, I just thought we lacked the spark for one reason or another, especially first half. We didn't get to grips, we give the ball away too much, we were sloppy in possession, our decision making wasn't good. You know, there was one or two positives in there. You know, and we had a goal again at half time to say, you know, you're going to have to lift your game to get something out of it. Obviously Plymouth had something to hang on to. Yeah. The crowd were up, obviously the events that had gone on in the week, the new manager and the takeover and things like that, so they could sniff the first win. Yeah. And it was a tricky game, a tricky situation. You know, it was always, those things can happen in football. So it was like similar to the 3-3 against Rotherham the other week, something that you can't put your finger on. Went out second half, had a good go. I thought we played better, we kept the ball better, we had good possession stats, created one or two chances. I thought if Kevin Ellison's shot went in, you know, instead of hitting the post, Plymouth just seemed to have that little bit of a nervous edge about them. They were dropping deeper. Yeah. You know, they had a lot of young lads in there, so we kept forcing the issue, we kept putting them under pressure, kept going right to the end. And as I say, you know, I always thought we'd get a chance, another chance, even right up to the until the goal. It come, Fenners has put it away brilliantly, and as you say, it's down to sometimes, you know, you don't play particularly well, and overall we haven't in the game, but you know, that togetherness and that spirit, yeah. I think you call upon it, you know, throughout the season. There will be times, you know, that alone will get you points or 3 points. So luckily Saturday we got a hard point, you know, such a long journey, so we were happy to come away with that after not playing particularly well. Yeah, absolutely. And you know, people say if a good team plays bad and still gets a point, it's a sign of a bloody good team. Yeah, well that's it. You look at the Premiership clubs, you know, Uniteds and things that have won everything. Some days they have off days, and you know they do manage to grind these a point out here and there, or actually 3 points. As I say, I thought we would have scored a little bit earlier. We could have gone on and maybe won it. So yeah, but unfortunately, you know, it wasn't to be. But in the end, as I say, hard points at such, you know, our longest journey of the year, and a great goal in the 94th minute. So it was good for the lads, and obviously good for the Morecambe faithful who travelled all that way as well, for them to sing about at the end as well. Yeah, and good on them as well for going that far. Fair play to them. Absolutely. A couple of notable absences on Saturday. What's the latest on the injury front? Jason Price, Will Ainham, Lawrence Wilson, all recovering well. Fortunately, they're not long term. You know, touch wood again. So they're making good progress. Whether Sunday's going to come too early for them, we'll wait and see. But they're making progress at the moment, so we'll wait and see how the next couple of days come, because a lot can happen over the next couple of days. Yeah, good. Well, one thing I've always admired about you, Jim, is the fact that you never make excuses, you never hide behind anything, you know. And if it's a poor performance, you'll say it's a poor performance, and you'll also give praise where praise is due. But I've got to say, I was disappointed on Saturday when you tried to give a really, what I thought was a shocking excuse of something about moustaches, weighing them down, or something about aerodynamics. Yeah. So I thought that was terrible. Right. So tell us about the moustaches. You're sporting one there. There's a bit of one there. Yeah, it's a slight one, a little bit of this and all that. But yeah. Whose idea is it? Like Andy Parrish have it, try and grow a moustache? There's a few can't grow a moustache here. Some are too young, but we've said some are too blonde as well. But we've said if you can't grow one, you've got to do a little bit of a Mohican. So there's a couple of them knocking around at the minute. It's not a Mickey take, it's all for a good cause. You know, yeah. Movember. It's, you know, it's come to light now over the last couple of years. I remember seeing Joey Barton last year and thinking, you know, what's he doing? And then when it comes out, what it's all about, you know, it's a good cause and something that we're happy to be playing our part in. We were playing Port Vale, I think it was, Port Vale. We were on the coach. I think it was Will Ainham mentioned it to Barry Roach, you know, that one or two of the lads would do it. which is, you know, when you read the reports around the country, there's certain players at individual clubs that are doing it. I'm not aware of many full-time clubs or full-time staff and players, backroom staff, directors, everyone getting involved in it. But that was the shout that, you know, they thought it would be a good idea, and then next thing, one thing led to another, and we said, well, if one's doing it, we'll all do it, we're all in it together, which is, you know, again, down to the team spirit and things like
Absolutely.
that. So you've got directors now doing it, you've got the backroom staff, the kit men, the physio, Dan Bates, all the fitness coach, all the players, so everyone's having a go. So every day when lads come in, it's looking that little bit clearer what's going on, and there's some good sights so far, but as I say, it's all for a good cause.
Well, I just hope that on the 30th of November everybody gets together and has a big group photograph. I mean, that's got to happen as well.
Yeah, I should imagine it will.
So I'm sure there's a bit of male rivalry going on as well, who can grow the biggest and bushiest one.
There's a few a little bit aware of their appearance, so we don't know whether one or two are trimming, but the rule is you can't touch that, but you've got to shave this every couple of days just to make sure that it's just left with that. But there's one or two weighing it up that, you know, they're willing to take the fine, because if you don't do it, you get fined. It's simple as that. So
quite right.
At the moment, it's going well, but you know, we're only a week into it, aren't we? So.
Well, I think it's great for team spirit, great bit of banter, but for, like I said, for a really good cause. It's prostate cancer.
Men's cancer.
Yeah. So how can people support that?
They can get on the website that Barry Roche, I think, set up. You know, through his Twitter or Facebook. I don't know what he goes on to do it all, but you can do it like that, you know, and I'd like more and more people to get involved. I think it's a great charity. You know, it's a bit of banter and a bit of a laugh amongst the lads, but it is serious.
I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll find out what that link is, and I'll make sure it's pinned at the top of Shrimp's Voices for the whole of November.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah,
we'll try and get as many people to support you. Okay, it's been a few weeks, like we said. Give us your take on the last 6 weeks. This train is still on. It keeps on running and running and running.
Yeah,
we're in danger of doing well this season.
Well, you know, we've done all right. We've done all right so far. You know, we would have said this in pre-season. You know, we are where we are in the league. You know, we did well in the Carling Cup. We had a good game here in Johnston's Paint. We've got a good FA Cup game coming up on telly. You know, spirits high. The fans seem a little bit more happy now with the match day experience. Certain things are developing behind the scenes. You know, the players have put everything into it so far. For me, I can't ask any more of them. They've needed a little kick up the backside now and then, but you know, that's football, it happens. But overall, we've got to be happy with what's going on so far, but still a long way to go, but we're always positive, we're always looking to improve. We keep that spirit and togetherness going, because there will be times, like Saturday, when we're going to need to be, you know, call upon it, when our backs are against the wall, or we've got to chase a point down here and there. So everything's going well, but there's a lot of work to be done between now and the end of the season, and hopefully we'll just continue to improve, and long may our good form continue. Absolutely,
and you're absolutely right. I think the whole matchday experience is feeling really positive, and I use that word purposely. I think the football's really positive on the pitch, which is something that we've maybe lacked a little bit for the last couple of seasons. But everybody, it feels like a club again. It really does. So you know, hats off to you and your team for that, and of course you know, everybody at the club, all the supporters, all the backroom staff. You know, it's just great at the moment. Yeah,
well, we want to do well, obviously, but it's important that we have that bond with the fans. You know, since I come to the club at Christie Park, it didn't bother me going for a drink after the game and mingling with them and talking to them, like-minded football fans like myself. You know, I'll give anyone the time of day to speak football. Doesn't bother me. We've tried to do that this year by saying to the lads, win, lose or draw, you know, show your face upstairs or in the supporters bar and mingle, because there is kids up there who want your autographs, and people who want to speak to the players and get photographs and all that, and I just think it brings everyone together. You know, at the end of the day, Morecambe fans, Morecambe players, anyone who works behind the scenes, we all want what's right for the football club, so it's important that we all pull together. Absolutely,
as you said, long may that continue. Okay, now down to business away from League Two just for a little while. It's a small matter of the FA Cup match against 3 times winners, Sheffield Wednesday. Looks like it's going to be a sellout. It's live on TV. What were your thoughts about the draw, and how do you prepare for a match like this?
Well, first of all, our preparation's got to be exactly the same. You know, you don't change. It's another 90 minutes of football. We're at home. You know, you don't take your eye off the you don't take your eye off the ball, so to speak. It's another game of football as far as we're concerned, and we'll go about it as any other. You know, we'll go out there, we'll be organised, we'll be hard work, and everyone will give it their all, and we'll be looking to win the match. You know, cup football always springs up surprises. You know, we will be the underdog on the day, even though we are at home. Yeah. But there are up and down the country surprises and shocks, and we're hoping to be on the right end of that. So when the draw come out, I thought it was a good draw. We wanted to be at home, although our away record's better than what it is here at the Globe. Yeah. But to have your own fans behind you, again, against such a big club like Sheffield Wednesday, who've got all the history and obviously doing well in their own league as well. And the added bonus of it being on a Sunday afternoon and on the television as well. So it's been a good draw for us, and hopefully we'll get a full house on and we'll do ourselves proud. Well,
it's exciting. This is going to just be the longest week ever, I think. How are the lads this week in the build-up? You know, does it affect them, or is it just another 90 minutes for them, or do they think, well, actually, we're on telly and there's people watching?
Yeah, I think it's we've been in today Monday. You know, we've trained quite hard today, well, very hard today. Same again tomorrow. No one's really mentioned it at the minute. It's just about sorting the tickets out and things like that for the family, because obviously it's going to sell out quickly, or it already has in certain areas. So I should imagine come Thursday, Friday, Saturday, you know, cup fever should kick in by then. I should imagine.
Yeah, well, if we sell out, that'll be an achievement in itself. It really will.
Yeah,
it'll be brilliant. So I'm not going to ask you about tactics and details or anything like that, because I'm sure you're still finalising those. But have you had time to watch them? Yeah, you done any homework?
No, we've got a report on them from Saturday, and one or two other little bits and pieces. So we'll do our homework as we do with any team. See if we can find any weaknesses in them, and obviously their strengths. They've got good players there. You know, they are a big side. Yeah. Got all the history. They've got good experienced pros there, one or two that we all know, in the likes of Ryan Lowe, for instance. Yeah. So we'll have to be at our best, but it's a challenge. It's a big challenge that we're really looking forward to. Yeah. It does grip the town. It's not just a football club. I should imagine the town will be looking forward to it as well, because there'll be a lot of Sheffield Wednesday fans coming here. And as I say, on a Sunday afternoon, it's a little bit different because there's no other football around the country at that time. So all eyes will be on this game. So it's one we're really looking forward to, and hopefully we can do well.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. I mean, the atmosphere as the Globe's been massively improved this season, as we've mentioned. The fans are really getting behind the team. How important is it to the team that the fans, make that noisy support from the off, and really get behind them?
No, it's massive. It's massive. It should never be underestimated, even if you're playing at Man U, Goodison, whatever it be. With a crowd behind you at that level, it's the same at our level. To hear your name getting sung when you're out there playing. One of my greatest days was the York playoff match. To come back from 1-0 down and see all the happy faces and know you're going to Wembley and things like that. It was a real, brilliant carnival atmosphere, and that's what we want to reproduce here on Sunday against Sheffield Wednesday. It's very important that the fans play the part. I've just done a little bit there with Derek Quinn for the visitor. I think it'd be brilliant if everyone wore red, and anyone who wants to get involved with the charity that we're there backing grows a moustache, or if they can't, draws one on or gets a fake one or whatever it may be, just to, it'll bring everyone again together, and it's not just the players who are playing their part in this charity, so it'll be great. But as far as the match is concerned, it's a great should be a great day for us, and hopefully, as I say, it'll be a carnival atmosphere and we'll come away with a positive result at the end of it.
Yeah, well, let's hope so. I think that's a fair challenge to the fans as well. A sea of red with moustaches, that should be interesting to see, and that's just the ladies. It's going to be a long week. I've no doubt that the whole town's behind you and your team, including this fan here. Best of luck Sunday, Jim.
Thanks very much.
All the best.
Cheers, mate.